guys, you want to get into some JJK?
Alrighty. Let's do it. JJK episode 17 called Thunderclap Part 2. And Megumi is on his deathbed. So he summons an absolute monster of a Shikigami to deal with Haruta. Then he gets bailed out by our boy Sukuna, and another epic fight ensues. So we kind of like just going like crazy on the fights, right? Like back to back to back. Like Shibuya be going hard. But then we start out with Yuji's grandfather on his deathbed. This is when he got told he was a strong kid and that he should try to save people, even if it's just one person. Then we cut to like kind of Megumi explaining his powers, the 10 Shadows techniques. What did y'all think about that though? Like his whole power system.
That's just nuts, dude. I think it's really cool that basically, so how it works is at the beginning when you unlock the power, you're given the 2 demon dogs that we've seen. And then to unlock other Shikigami, you have to battle them, defeat them, and subjugate them to your will. So this like reminded me of like Final Fantasy. Like, I think it was Final Fantasy X, you did it a lot, where you had to go fight like these badass summons. And you couldn't use them until you defeated them. And it's very similar to this. And like the Shikigami he summoned looks straight out of fucking Final Fantasy. So I was geeking out this whole episode.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool technique. Like, I think most of the techniques we've seen in JJK, it's like they can just use them and they have to get better at them. Where Megami literally has to level up by himself and then unlock a new one. So I thought that was a cool change up. And the fact that there's like 10 different levels is pretty dope.
So if he gets multiple people in there, he can't like claim the shadow or whatever.
So what they were saying was like, okay, so there's a certain ritual he has to do to defeat each one, and he has to subjugate them within that ritual. He can add people to it, I guess, to like practice fighting them. But if they beat it together while there's another human in the ritual, it gets voided.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so the reason he did that is by having Haruta involved in the ritual. Basically, if Megumi died, the Shikigami wouldn't disappear until Haruta died.
Okay.
So basically, he was bringing out the trump card like, hey, boys, I'm dead. And yeah, good luck.
You know, we was kind of wondering what Haruta would be scared of, you know, back in the last episode, and this is why he was scared.
Yeah, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, I would have been terrified, bro. I might have wet myself. He's fucking huge. He's got fucking wings for eyes. Nah, bro. Not for me.
He's like, wake up, Megumi. Yeah, I'd be saying wake up too, bro. Oh. Then we get into like a little bit deeper about this whole situation, and it's like a flashback of Gojo telling Megumi that the leaders of the Gojo and Zenin clans once killed each other using the same abilities that Megumi is using right now. And you know, I once, you know, kind of asked why Gojo and the Zenin clan didn't really get along. I guess this kind of answers that question right now. You know, they've always been fighting each other, I guess, for the top spot, but still they're on the same side. So you would think that they would unite under bigger incidents like this. So
yeah, definitely I can agree with that. And I think it's interesting because this really laid out how powerful Megumi's ability is. Because like, if that motherfucker can take down Limitless Gojo, shit, man, that is a strong ability.
Right. And so what I'm confused about is like how you go about doing that. I understand that you have like the Mahoraga, whatever. But like outside of that, like how do you fight against Gojo? Like a reliability without pretty much killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't really understand how you get that powerful.
I think so. The same way that Megumi included Haruta in this ritual, I think that the previous 10 Shadows technique user must have included the previous Limitless user, and basically said, "We're both going down, buddy. It's game over. Like, you're not beating this thing.
Sure. So like, but are you really stronger? You know, are you really stronger than them? Like, you're gonna die too. It's a suicide bomb. I don't count that as you being strong. Like, you just have a fucking trump card. It's not even a trump card, bro. Like, it's like it's a suicide mission. Like that, I don't consider that strength. Like, you have a lot of potential for destruction, but like you can do it one time.
Well, like what if like he was able to capture, like what if he was able to defeat it and actually make it his own? Then he would truly be able to draw on it anytime he wanted to, right? And so he
Bro,
would truly be strong without killing himself. See what I'm saying?
except, yeah, I agree with that. Except you ain't subjugating Maharaga.
Literally, no one has done
Demon.
it in JJK history. Yeah.
The thing I want to touch on though
Yeah.
right here is that do we think that Gojo clan member back in the day was as strong as Gojo, or do you think Gojo is like surpassing that of his ancestors that had the same abilities as him? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say no, because like we hear Sukuna reference, you know, the sources from 1,000+ years ago, and he's like, yeah, like these are like little kids compared to them. I don't know if it was like the average strength was much higher, or if like everybody was just like scaled up and was like on another level back then. But I think they
Yeah.
were probably stronger.
Yeah, I would say stronger, if not as strong as Gojo. And I mean, like during the first arc of season 2, they do mention that purple had been used in the past. It was a Gojo clan secret. So people have done it in the past, and I'm assuming if this guy's going up against Maharaga, he probably was a fucking badass. So
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of curious about that. What y'all thought about, you know, Gojo compared to back then, the Six Eyes or whatever. So, um, but Sukuna kind of shows up and saves Haruta in order to keep the ritual going because it's really the only way to save Megumi apparently. And he tells Megumi, he's like, you know, you can't die yet because I have a job for you. I gotta you got to be here so I can use you for something. Do we have any kind of thoughts on what that could be? What he would need him for?
So I'm going off the deep end here. I think Sukuna is going to try and take over Megumi's body and his techniques. Or since we found out he can copy curse techniques, maybe he's going to try and copy the 10 shadows. But he might need the user there to copy his techniques.
Are we sure Sukuna can copy techniques? Are we sure about that?
I think
I don't think that's true.
I think based on the last episode, that's what they alluded to.
I would
I
say
think
Dan's. I mean, I agree with Dan on that part. They put it out there for us to think about. So at least,
yeah, I don't think that's true. I think I have a theory, and I'll wait to the end because it comes up again.
okay. But then we get on to, you know, Sukuna must beat this Maharaga in order to nullify the ritual, which would, in doing so, it would save Megumi's life, basically. And now we just get into the fight. And like we always tell people, you know, it's just better to go watch this shit because this is one of the, you know, better, in my opinion, better fights of JJK, and it seems like I'm saying this quite often here recently. So, yeah.
I literally had to watch this like 3 times to actually grasp what happened in some parts. So yeah, good luck to us trying to explain what happened. I'm not even gonna give it a shot. Just go watch it, please.
Shit, I got a couple for him. I put this shit in slow mo for the boys. No, just like after like the initial clash and like Sukuna going to get literal popcorn and put a lid on his drink, which I thought was nuts. Bro was in a movie theater. It's like, oh, this it's time for a snack. I know I'm in like a do or die situation. But I thought like my favorite part of like the whole thing was we got some like great like interactions, like Mahogura like literally breaststroking up a building while Sukuna's back flipping up it. That shit was nuts. Bro was breaststroking through a building like it was water. That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. I thought Sukuna was about to get cooked. typically, I mean, maybe not beaten, but like cooked a little bit. I thought it was going to be a real challenge for him.
Definitely,
go ahead.
Definitely more of a challenge than old Volcano Head was.
Damn.
R.I.P. to the goat. Sorry,
I mean,
the joke, because his name's Jogo, not Gojo.
Yeah, I thought the same thing though. Like I was like, he might have a possibility of like getting worked on right now, but then the popcorn thing happened. I was like, bro's not taking this shit serious at all. He's like playing right now still. So it was fun.
Yeah, but Moragawa didn't appreciate that and immediately palmed his head and started throwing him, and I guess sliding him down the side of a building. That's when I was like, you know what? Maybe Sukuna needs to fucking, get a little serious here. Because how many times do we see somebody's head get palmed and they win the fight?
Not many times, right?
None.
I'm trying to think back if Goku ever got palmed in the head.
He
always wins.
Well,
yeah, he wins.
Gohan, that shit used to happen all the time when he was little. And he was always getting work. I thought it was just more of the same.
True.
But was there any more moments from this fight you guys want to talk about before the domain expansion?
So one that really stood out to me was when Maharaga went in with his crazy ass sword hand, and Sukuna literally caught it by creating another mouth, one of those creepy little Sukuna mouths on his neck, and caught the blade and shattered it. That shit was insane, dude.
Throat goat.
Pause.
Dude, what'd you say?
The throat jote.
Bro, I know we just watched Food Wars this weekend. But...
Sorry, the tentacle goat.
Oh, man. I had to throw it out there. I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't gonna lose his head today. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, sir, we ain't doing this shit. So
he was smiling while he did it. That shit was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, he's having the best time of his life right now, He's like, this shit is so fun. I just pieced up Jogo and had one of my best times of my life, and now I'm having even more fun. I'm actually being challenged right now. So but yeah, but one of the things that I kind of liked was that he was like just sitting crisscross applesauce on a street light while this thing was throwing buildings and just anything he could at him, really. And like at this moment I was like, I think Sukuna is like kind of amused. Like he's just sitting there like thinking, just watching what he can actually do. Like, okay, this is fun. This is amusing. So
yeah, I mean Oharaga like literally was like down throwing a whole fucking building.
Bro, there were planes, trains, and automobiles being knocked up in this fight, bro.
Like half a whole skyscraper. And I was gonna say that moment too, Tyler. Like that was my second favorite moment because like Sukuna's like just chilling, like you said, crisscross applesauce on a signal, and just like flicks his hand and like destroys the whole building.
Yeah, his pose there is just like it's just like him T-posing, That's just like him just sitting there. He's just watching the sunset. That's what it reminded me of. He's just watching the sunset right now.
Yes,
just fascinated. So
it was nuts, man. Well, you guys want to get cooking it up in the kitchen?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So then we get into the domain expansion, because at this time, Sukuna, I guess, felt like that he was fixing to lose, I believe, and so he hits his domain expansion. It is Malevolent Shrine, and there for probably a couple days or maybe a day or two. It actually said Malevolent Kitchen and the subtitles for Crunchyroll. So we was going to talk about it a little bit more, but they finally fixed it. So that was interesting.
I need a picture of Sukuna using his domain expansion with a chef hat on. So bad right now.
I'd be down.
And I think the reason he ended up using his domain expansion is because he realized that Maharaga can adapt to his opponents mid-fight. Like, that's how broken his abilities are. And that's the only reason that I think that a 10 Shadows user using this Shikigami could potentially box with Gojo. Is because it would just adapt to all his abilities. So that's why this thing's so broken. Not because it can huck trains, planes, automobiles, buildings, whatever, it's because it can adapt to your opponent. And that's so fucking broken.
Yes. I just wonder how you stay alive or get out of that ritual alive. And I wonder if like Megami can end the ritual prior to getting his shit rocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if he can, that now I understand like why you would be considered so powerful, because you can just unleash this fucking beast on somebody at any point.
Yeah, you might die, but whatever. It's all good.
High risk, high reward.
There's no way that he can just like call it off though. I think that it's either beat it or be beat, at that point, right?
I'd say so. That would make sense. I mean, that's like, if you're going to summon a Shikigami to subjugate them, that ritual has got to have... Well, I guess we have the cop-out of having somebody else involved in it. But again, who can take down this thing besides, I guess, somebody like Sukuna?
Right. Yeah, I just wonder because like he had to subjugate, like eight others, and it's like, did you like practice enough to where you knew you could beat it and then went in by yourself? I just don't. We just got to figure out what the rest of the rules are.
Definitely.
Yeah, and a little bit about Sukuna's domain. It actually manifests in the real world instead of needing a barrier. And the narrator was saying it was truly a divine feat. Basically, it's like a 200-meter radius that has a guaranteed hit effect for cleaves and slashes, basically, I believe. But at this time, he only expands it to 140 meters because Megumi would have been in that 200-meter radius, and he doesn't want to kill Megumi. So, because he's got other plans for him. All this fighting would have been for nothing if he just killed Megumi in his little domain expansion, right?
True. Imagine being boys with Sukuna. I might have switched sides already.
Yeah, but, I'll bow down to Sukuna if it means I'm not getting sliced up into nothing.
Yeah, I fuck with it.
I mean, some other people bowed down to him too, and look where it got them. So, but basically, Sukuna finished the job with Fuga, the fire arrow that he used with Jogo, and the reason why he did this was because we said that the Shikigami was he could adapt to anything and all that good stuff. So he used something that he didn't know about, I guess, at that time, and he had one shot to do it, or he would adapt to it, I guess, is what I got out of it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So
yeah, you got to one shot kill it with something new, or else it'll adapt. But like going back to what I was saying about like the fire that Sukuna uses for the arrow. So they mentioned that inside of Sukuna's domain is pretty much like an infinite amount of cleaves that are happening at everywhere inside of that domain. And if you guys notice, like there was like some railing and other things that were like heating up and pretty much melting as they were getting cut up. And I'm thinking maybe he's doing that and generating heat by doing that with the air over and over and over. And it's causing flames. And that's how he kind of throws this arrow of flames instead of actually copying Jogo's technique. Because there's nothing about slicing that makes me think he can use fire otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Might be a stretch, but I just don't think he can copy techniques.
I don't think he's like unleashed his real technique yet. I think that's what it is. Or if he has, we just don't know it yet. Like, because I mean, there's a scene in the last episode where Jogo is like, I thought your ability was slashing and cutting. And Sukuna basically goes like, bro, you've been trying to revive me for how long? You don't even know my shit. Right. So like, I definitely think there's something else to it.
Understood. That's fair.
Well, we ain't getting to see it anytime soon because this fight took a lot out of Sukuna. And to finish off the episode, he kind of goes and grabs Megumi and brings him to Shoko and them, so that that she can heal him. And then he kind of goes to like the area where he created the most destruction and just kind of drops his body off there. Itadori's body off basically, and just lets him switch back. So that was kind of the final moment. Do you think this is gonna affect? Like, what kind of effect do you think this is gonna have on Itadori? Honestly,
poor bastard, dude. Like I was saying before the podcast, I was like, dude, Sukuna is just sitting in whatever little spiritual domain he has inside of Yuji right now with a fucking thing of popcorn, laughing his ass off. Because like Yuji is just experiencing pure despair at this point.
Yeah.
Because like he got all his memories essentially of what happened just hit him in the face, and he saw all these people die and all this destruction. Like I can't even imagine that. My brain would just stop.
Yeah, I mean, we literally see him throw up and like clawing the ground to the point where his fingers are bleeding. I think Yuji's gonna be on demon time after this. I think he's gonna be like much more serious and not as like carefree after this, knowing like what Sukuna can do and like what he's shown him. So that's what I think the long term effects are gonna be for him. And we haven't seen Yuji say he wants anybody to die and telling Sukuna to die right now. I think he's about to switch up on us big time.
I can definitely agree with that. How did you guys feel about them using the opening song during this scene? Because it seemed kind of out of place to me. Like it didn't really fit the vibe. I don't know though.
There was a lot of backlash about that on social medias, honestly, because everybody thought that it should have been like a silent, like remorse kind of scene, which it was, and then they just hit us with the was it the ending? I think it was the ending, right?
No, it was the opening. It was
the
opening. Okay, but yeah, I didn't really care for it. I thought like it shouldn't have been there, but I mean, it just didn't, like you said, it didn't fit the vibes. So, what about you, Bass?
I don't think it fit the vibes. I'm trying to like think about like maybe what they were going for there. But
yeah,
like I think it just being silent and then like showing Yuji's face and everything else would have hit a little harder.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is so the song basically like it seems kind of like an anthem for the curse side of this story. Kind of like based on the vibes and stuff. Maybe it's just like with Sukuna showing the destruction that the King of Curses is capable of doing. Maybe they thought it was a good fit. But it just kind of took away from the moment for me personally.
It did a lot of people, apparently. Like I said, apparently. So
yeah, I remember just like watching it my first watch through, and it was just like, okay, why? What the fuck is going on now? Yeah, I was very confused. So I agree with it. I don't know if I would like was so mad about it or it like took too much away from me, but it just seemed misplaced a little bit. It didn't like ruin the episode by any means.
No, God, no, you can't ruin that episode.
No, it's gas.
I guess to finish the episode off, did y'all see who's walking around, bro?
Yeah, Nanami.
Oh yeah. I told you he wasn't dead. Now he's just
I bet he wishes he was.
He's just gonna start flipping a coin, dude.
Yeah, I'm really happy that he's still alive and kicking it, even though it looks like half of his body is not there. So I don't know how useful he's gonna be. I guess we'll see.
He's just gonna be like, "Do you want to play a game? Heads or tails?"
God bless.
Well, you guys want to get into One Piece?